My mum just literally told me off for filming YouTube videos. Like, bitch, please. I am 18. I do not share every detail of my life online. I am allowed to do what the actual fucking hell I want. And I am sorry for my language. There will be no more language for the rest of this video, but I'm quiet. It's because I'm a bit kind of anxious because I know my mum doesn't approve of what I'm doing. I know she never has approved of what I'm doing. Like, when I used to make YouTube videos when I was younger, she was like, oh, why are you so intent on putting your entire life on the internet? Like, I'm not intent on putting my entire life on the internet. And maybe if you showed more care to me, like, I wouldn't be so intent on putting my entire life on the internet. Like, I'm not even talking about my personal life in most of my videos, to be honest. It's not my entire life. Okay. Anyway, so today I want to talk about the link between physical illness and mental illness and how I feel physical illness and physical unwellness, especially when it's chronic, can lead to mental illness. So basically, brief history, because I've made a lot of realizations about life really lately, you know. This past few, however long it's been since I finished exams, has been a time of learning and making realizations about things. Like, who knew Hannah had a brain beyond textbooks? Okay, so I feel like physical illness can cause mental illness. And I know in my experience this has been the case. I have had an undiagnosed chronic illness since I was about the age of 11. And I think it is endometriosis, but I've never got it checked or anything because, you know, until like literally October last year, just listen to my dog jump on a plate there, right? Until literally October last year, I was too scared to book my own doctor's appointments. And until literally like 2 weeks ago, I was too scared to phone a doctor and book an appointment. Like, so yeah, obviously I've never been to a doctor about any of this because of those reasons. And I'm going to talk about why I feel like physical illness can cause mental illness. For me, I feel like the number one reason as to why physical illness has caused mental illness is because I kind of had to hide it from my family because I felt like they wouldn't understand. I knew they wouldn't understand. When my parents found out about like the fact that I wasn't feeling very well, because I was like a friend's parent phoning concern, I think that's what happened. My dad actually said to my face that I was doing it for attention, and I was lying about being ill for attention, so I've never really felt like I could open up to them or tell them about how I've been feeling. And so I've had to live a lie for the last 8 years nearly, really. And it's only been since I changed my diet this year that I didn't have to live that lie anymore, because I was finally feeling like a normal human being again. I was finally feeling like the myself I used to be before all of this happened to me. And actually, it's the fact that I've kind of had this period of feeling better, and then like a month or two where I've kind of, you know, been feeling like a bit ill again at like, obviously, you know, those 3 weeks of the month that I did before. But I've only really made the link between physical and mental health, and how my physical health has led to the mental health issues. I mean, another really big reason as to why I feel like mental and physical health issues are really interconnected is because when you have a physical health issue, especially if it's a chronic physical health issue, there's a lack of understanding from people. People think you're doing it for attention a lot of the time, and obviously that is what led me to hide it and live a lie, and it kind of set off a spiral as such of me living this lie that I was perfectly well when I was perfectly not well. Like, well done. And also, especially chronic illnesses, there can be a lot of confusion by a person who has a chronic illness about what is wrong with them first and foremost, and what happened to them to make them go from like a healthy whatever old they were to a unhealthy however old they are. You know, I know myself, I was so confused when I went from being a healthy 11-year-old to an unhealthy 11-year-old. Didn't know what was wrong with me. I didn't didn't know what to do. I was so lost, and I feel like doctors don't always help in this situation because, again, they have a lack of understanding of chronic illnesses. Mostly chronic illnesses have bizarre symptoms or symptoms that may point to lots of other conditions, and doctors aren't always aware of them or aren't always aware for test or to test for them. And especially with endometriosis, which is what I think I have, the only way to definitively diagnose is through surgery. So obviously, from a doctor's point of view, you're not going to want to put someone under surgery for no reason. And obviously I 100% understand that, but I also feel like the way doctors deal with chronic illnesses can sometimes really not help with people's mental health, just from what I've read about and learnt about on the internet. And the final reason I feel like physical illness can lead to mental health, and this is again one of the biggest reasons, along with living a lie. I think this might be a bigger reason for quite a lot of other people suffering from chronic health issues, is that it stops you from doing things you enjoy. You go from being, a healthy, active person to barely being able to manage going to school and doing your homework. You quit things you enjoy, like I quit Scouts and I quit horse riding because of the pain I was in, and because it was actually such an issue for me. And then you end up with nothing in life that you enjoy anymore, because things you enjoy you can't do anymore, especially if you're a naturally active person. I was always a very active person, and I am an active person now. If I don't get to be active, I will be depressed, because I love being active. And so yeah, I feel like the lack of being able to do things that you enjoy and lack of positive reinforcement from those things you enjoy can definitely really lead to a lot of depression and a lot of other mental health issues. I also feel like, at least in my case, my chronic illness did lead to my eating disorder. It was kind of a final trigger for it to turn into anorexia. I mean, I did have some disordered eating before that, and maybe it would class as an eating disorder. I don't really know. But I feel like it got serious in year 10, and the summer between year 9 and 10, I lost weight accidentally, randomly, unintentionally. And apparently this can actually happen with endometriosis, which I didn't know until the other day, and then suddenly everything made sense. Even more than suddenly everything made sense anyway when I first read about the condition. And so obviously I lost all this weight, and my head of year was kind of are you eating? And I said yes, because obviously I was eating. But I thought that I saw that as a sign that people cared about me more when I was skinnier. And so obviously it did lead to my eating disorder in that way, and again it did lead to my most recent little 3-week relapse. I don't even know if you can call 3 weeks a relapse, and I don't know. It was a dark 3 weeks. Let's not go there again. Anyway, so yeah, that is why I feel like physical health issues can cause mental health issues, and why it is so important, if you are having persistent physical health issues, to go to a doctor and be persistent with your doctor and get a diagnosis and get the help you need, so you feel more like a normal human being again. Because I know myself, being in constant pain isn't very fun. Feeling ill all the time isn't very fun. Feeling ill all the time and having no one who understands you and having no one you feel like you can talk to isn't very fun. So it's definitely better, if you feel like there's something wrong with you, and if you know there's something wrong with you, however scary it might be, to not do as Hannah does, but to do as Hannah says, and go see a doctor about it and get treated, because it could prevent mental health issues from getting worse. It could improve your mental health. It could stop you from having mental health issues altogether if you're randomly watching this video and you've never had any mental health issues before. It could stop you from going through the years of emotional and physical pain I've been through, and I probably may still have to go through. I mean, I don't know how my future's going to play out, but yeah, I'll see you in my next video, and Don't remember to like, comment and subscribe, and follow me on my other social medias. Links will be down in the description. And yeah, that's it. And don't tell my mum that I almost put her on Snapchat the other day, but it's alright, it failed to post, so I gave up. You know, she would really freak about that, right? She'd be like, stop putting your whole life on the internet. Like, I don't want me on like a 10-second snap. Like, oh. Okay, bye now.